You've got mail.
Back in the late 90s, audiences fell in love with You've Got Mail. Aside from being a time capsule for the early days of instant messaging, this rom-com brings with it a plethora of iconic quotes.
I've heard you say that before.
She hasn't.
Absolutely. Right.
She gets it. She gets
Radio. There's a medium.
Welcome to The Rewind. Today, we'll be counting down the top 10 quotes from You've Got Mail. Before we begin, make sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for good luck. Number 10. How about some coffee or, drinks or dinner or a movie? For as long as we both shall live?
Oh, how about some coffee or, drinks or dinner or a movie? For as long as we both shall live.
It goes without saying that Joe and Kathleen wouldn't have had the same relationship had they met offline. Whether it would have worked out or not, it's valid for Joe to wonder what would have happened had the two of them met under different circumstances. He elaborates on the idea and tells Kathleen that he would have started off by asking for her number, but wouldn't have been able to wait even 24 hours before finally contacting her. Regardless of how they met, he knows in his heart that he still would have wanted to spend the rest of his life with her.
I would have asked for your number.
Number 9. There is the dream of someone else.
You don't love me. Me either.
You don't love me?
Before Kathleen met Joe, she dated Frank. The spark between Frank and Kathleen died somewhere along the way, and their love died out. On the bright side, things were mutual between the two. Kathleen was more than happy that Frank moved on, and Frank, feeling relieved, even asked Kathleen if she was seeing anyone else. While she may not have been seeing Joe at that moment, the idea of him was still there.
But there is the dream of someone else.
Number 8. I just want to say that all this nothing has meant more to me than so many somethings.
You're more likely to talk about nothing than something, but I just want to say that all this nothing has meant more to me than so many somethings.
Evaluating all of her messages with Joe, Kathleen realizes that she has stronger feelings for him than anyone else she's ever met, despite the fact that they've only been communicating through instant message. To Kathleen, these messages are a bunch of nothing. But all that nothing gives meaning to this relationship and goes beyond everything the two have experienced in the past.
I heard you were sick, and I was worried.
Number 7. You're taking all the caviar? That caviar is a garnish.
What is that? What are you doing? You're taking all the caviar? That caviar is a garnish.
After running into each other for a second time, Joe seems standoffish despite Kathleen's best attempts to spark a conversation. The two of them go back and forth when Kathleen learns Joe's full name. Meanwhile, Joe is serving himself food from the table, scooping just about all the caviar onto his plate, much to Kathleen's surprise.
How did you know that?
I'm in the book business.
I am in the book business.
Number 6. Thank Youre.
Yours is the only show I do watch.
Oh my God.
No.
high
I
praise.
was being polite.
Thank you, Frank.
No, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry.
This one is a bit subtle, but it shouldn't be hard to miss when you consider Frank has had his eye on TV host Sydney Ann. We see the two of them conversing during a televised interview, and Frank is noticeably flustered. Instead of replying with "thank you," he fumbles his words and ends up saying "thank Youre."
She's coming on to you.
No. They do this on television.
It's a true New York treasure.
As are you.
Number 5. Get not just a cup of coffee, but an absolutely defining sense of self. Tall, decaf, cappuccino.
The whole purpose of places like Starbucks is for people with no decision-making ability whatsoever to make 6 decisions just to buy 1 cup of coffee.
Fancy caffeinated drinks play a big part in making our mundane mornings just a bit more tolerable. In Joe's own words, the entire purpose of coffee shops like Starbucks is for people with no decision-making abilities whatsoever to make 6 decisions just to buy 1 cup of coffee. Regardless of whether or not the customer knows what they're doing, the coffee they've just ordered has been created for them specifically and provides a defining sense of self, which is something we all strive for at the end of the day.
Get not just a cup of coffee, but an absolutely defining sense of self. Tall, decaf, cappuccino.
Number 4. If she turns out even to be as good-looking as a mailbox, I'd be crazy not to turn my life upside down and marry her.
I've ever been in contact with, and if she turns out even to be as good-looking as a mailbox, I'd be crazy not to turn my life upside down and marry her.
Meeting someone for the first time is exhilarating. You never know what to expect. Nervous about what his online date might look like, Joe hopes that she's as beautiful as he's imagined her to be. That being said, he acknowledges the connection between the two of them is so strong that even if she isn't as attractive as he's imagined, he'd be crazy not to give her a chance.
Absolutely, yes, why not? Who cares about Kathleen Kelly?
If you don't like Kathleen Kelly, you ain't gonna like this girl.
Number 3. I would send you a bouquet of sharpened pencils if I knew your name and address.
Don't you love New York in the fall? Makes me want to buy school supplies.
Who?
I'm almost ready.
There's nothing like the sight of falling autumn leaves and the sweet smell of pumpkin spice. To Joe, New York is at its best during the fall. He messages Kathleen about his love for the season and how it gives him the urge to purchase school supplies, even going as far as wanting to send her a bouquet of sharpened pencils. Of course, he'd have to know her name and address to do that, but it's the thought that counts.
I would send you a bouquet of newly sharpened pencils if I knew your name and address.
Number 2. The Godfather is the sum of all wisdom.
The Godfather is the I Ching. The Godfather is the sum of all wisdom.
The Godfather is clearly an influential film for Joe, so it only makes sense that he reflects on the wisdom he's received from the movie. As Joe puts it, The Godfather is the answer to any question. For instance, if he's ever wondering what to pack for vacation, he just references the famous line, "Leave the gun, take the cannoli."
What should I pack for my summer vacation? Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
And number 1, what will NY152 say today?
What will NY152 say today, I wonder?
Before meeting Joe in person, Kathleen's life was consumed by their daily IM chats. She impatiently waits as her computer connects and catches her breath the moment she hears those 3 words. "You've got mail." The world around her goes silent, and she even tunes out the sounds from the busy street below. All she can hear is the beating of her own heart.
He loves the streets of New York as much as I do.
Although he likes to eat bits of pizza and bagel off the sidewalk, and I prefer to buy them.
Well, that's it. What did you guys think of our list? Before you leave, don't forget to give this video a like and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Check out these other videos from The Rewind, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of our future uploads.